So are you curious about the things that you should and should not share? Well, there's many of those. I'm going to talk to you today about one thing in particular you really want to be careful about, especially in this day and age of partisanship. Okay, so you've got your social media program going and you're feeling really good about it, but you're looking maybe to be a little bit edgy. Well, be very careful, because being edgy can be advantageous. It can work to your advantage if you're skilled and you know how to do it right. But if you mess up, and it's very easy to mess up, you could find yourself in a disaster from a public relations standpoint. That could be like a toxic dump that will take you forever to clean up, if you're lucky enough to be able to clean it up at all. So one thing that you really want to be careful about is when you delve into the realm of politics. Politics is a messy business for politicians. When you are looking at being a brand that's trying to appeal to a diverse audience, you want to be very careful about what side of the fence that you fall on publicly from a political standpoint. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have your personal beliefs about politics that maybe you share in your interpersonal circle. That's one thing, but when you start to use your brand platform to express political perspectives and you start to take political positions, you have to be very, very careful, because you could alienate a big part of either your audience that you've already compiled or an audience that you're trying to attract. So when you start to get into politics, you want to be very careful, even on your personal brands, as to what kind of perspective that you're advocating for. Now, there's some things that you may feel very strongly about that you feel like your brand should feel very strongly about. Now, that's different. If you have that kind of an audience, if you have that kind of a clientele, you might be able to get rid of it. But if you don't, you want to be very, very careful. Think about what you're going to be posting, what position you're going to be taking, and analyze how it's going to impact your brand. You don't want to do irreparable damage to your brand by going out on a limb for a political position that you might not even care that much about. So make sure that if you're going to do it, you've thought about it carefully, you've considered how it's going to affect your brand, and you feel very strongly about it. If you've made those careful calculations and you still want to go forward, then that's a choice that you'll have to make. But be prepared for the possibility that there could be some pushback that you want to make sure that you're anticipating before you go out on that limb.